Hey guys! I'm here today to do a tag video. This is the Playing with Your Emotions book tag, and I was tagged by Allison over at Love Pink as her channel. You guys should definitely check her out. She does amazing videos. I love watching them, so thank you so much, Allison, for tagging me. I'm really excited to do this. The original tag was created by Raeleens over at Padfoot and Prongs 07. I will tag both of these ladies' channels down below. Like I said, go check them out. They do awesome videos, and you should definitely go subscribe to them if you are not already. So with that, let's get started. So how this tag goes is with each question, it's an emotion. So you're supposed to pick the book that makes you feel like happy, sad, etc. So for each emotion, you'll pick a book. So I will go ahead and do that. For happy, I picked Last Sacrifice by Rochelle Mead. This is the last book in the Vampire Academy series. And I had to be careful with which ones I picked because a lot of books have made me happy, but the conclusion of this and just this whole book in general made me so happy, so definitely The Last Sacrifice by Rochelle Mead. So for sad, I picked A Child Called It by Dave Pezler. This book is so sad. If you've read it, you'll know why. It's pretty much an autobiography on Dave Pezler, and it is he's kind of telling his story about how he was a child and went through abuse, and just the whole time you're reading this, it just makes you super sad and you feel so bad for this poor kid because child abuse is a very touchy subject, and I know that this was my mom's book and she gave it to me to read, and she couldn't even finish it because it just really got to her. But I just remember the whole time reading this, it just made me sad that anyone could do stuff like that to their own children. So definitely, hands down, this book has made me the most sad out of them all. For angry, hopefully I don't get too much hate for this, but it was The Host by Stephanie Meyer. And I picked this book because I was trying to think of a time when I read and I was just kind of mad with how the storyline was going. And I just remembered this made me mad because of the ending of the book, when they were putting her into a different body, and they put her into like this little girl's body, and I'm like, out of any host that you could find to put Wanda in, they pick a little girl's body. Like, I just remember being so mad about that, and there was other aspects that I was mad about while reading the book, like, even though that she was the host in someone's body, just how they were treating her made me so mad. So easily I'd have to say The Host is what has made me the most mad while reading. For the next emotion, which is nostalgic, I don't have the book on me right now because it is back at home at my parents', but it would have to be the first book in the Harry Potter series. I just remember, like, every time I think of that book, I think of back when, gosh, when it first came out, and I was just super little, and I don't remember how old I was. I just remember being in elementary and going to the library and picking out that book and loving it the minute I read it, and just out of them all, I think Harry Potter, like really any of the series, but particularly the first book, definitely has made me feel the most nostalgic whenever I think about it now. So for scared, I picked Don't Close Your Eyes by Betsy Brannon Green. Sorry if you can't see the cover very well. It's kind of dark. This just got a picture of a girl with her eyes shut. There hasn't been too many books that I've read where I've been like really scared to read them, but this one maybe scared me the most because it's something that could happen, I guess. This one is about a serial killer that's going around, and I read this book a while ago, but I just remember being kind of scared about it. He would leave like cans of soup or like something on your doorstep, and they lived in a town where everyone knew everyone in the neighborhood, and this wasn't like not out of the ordinary for people to have food on their front step because neighbors were constantly like making a dinner. So people would eat this and they would die or like something like that. But what made me scared was the killer was actually living in the basement of the main character's home, and she just never knew about it. So I think that just freaked me out. So the whole time I'm reading this book, I was like, oh my gosh, I would check my basement for a good like week after that. So this book just maybe reaffirmed my fears of basements in the first place because I hate them with a passion. For surprised, I picked Blue is for Nightmares by Lori Faria Solares. I hope I just said that name right. I probably slaughtered it, but the cover looks like this, and I actually was recommended this by one of my best friends, and when I read the back of it, I really didn't know how I was going to feel. If you've read this series, maybe you felt the same way. It's not really a heard of popular series, but my friend actually got it out of our school library. And me and her have really similar taste in books. So when she picked this out, she was kind of telling me about it, and I thought, that sounds really kind of stupid. So, like, the whole premise for this series is, it's about this girl who has dreams, like, kind of like premonitions, I guess you can say. And in this one, it's of her best friend being killed. And something, like, happened, like, she goes through, like, these weird things of, like, body things. Like, I don't know how to else word this. Like, in this book, she's in college with her best friend, and she keeps having these dreams, and they're so vivid that she's in the woods, and she has to find her friend because her friend's missing, and she has to go to the bathroom. So she wakes up every morning finding that she wet the bed, and it's terrifying her because it's making, like, her body do these things, and these dreams feel so real, and her friend's receiving all these, like, weird letters, and it just kind of sounded, like, that's not what sounded weird. The thing that kind of got me was, if you notice on all the books they have candles, it's kind of like, it's not like witchcraft. I don't know how else to explain it, but the main character, like, she believes that each colored candle stands for something. So she'll burn each colored candle to help her, like, I don't know how else to explain it. I just thought it'd be kind of weird, I guess. So I was really surprised when I picked this up, and within, like, the first chapter or two, I was hooked. This is such a good series, so for surprise, hands down, Blue is for Nightmares. For disappointed, I picked The Lovely Bones. I don't remember who wrote that on the top of my head, but I don't have the book with me because I actually gave it to a friend of mine, and I was disappointed in that because of all the hype it was getting. It had the movie coming out. People told me it was such a good book, but I remember reading it, and just, I could not get into the book. I feel really bad, but I never ended up liking it. Sorry if you like it, but it's just definitely not one of my favorites. For Distressed, it's a series that, because I couldn't pick out just one book in the series alone that made me distressed. So it's pretty much the entire Hunger Games series, because in each of these books, it was like one of those things where when you read a book and you're, like, on the edge of your seat, and you find yourself literally on the edge of your seat because it just captivates you that much. That's how I felt, and I felt distressed because I felt like I was Katniss going through these things, and I was just, oh my goodness. Every chapter had me thinking, is she going to die? Is this person going to die? What's going to happen? Are they going to get together? So many things bouncing in my head that it made me distressed. So, the whole Hunger Games series. For Confused, this one was kind of a tough one. I couldn't remember a book that I read where I was kind of confused, other than a book I might have read for school. But one that sticks out to me, and it's actually one of my favorite ones that I read in school, but it's The Great Gatsby. I just remember it is kind of hard to understand at parts, and with my teacher wasn't up there, like, explaining to us certain things, I would not have get it. It's like Shakespeare. I mean, anything I read Shakespeare just goes over my head. But that book, it was just a little bit harder for me to understand what was going on because of how they were describing things. And I just remember most of the books we read in that class were kind of like that. So probably I'd have to say The Great Gatsby. Alright, so that was the Playing With Your Emotions tag. I think that this is an awesome tag. I tag you all to do it. So thank you, Allison, for tagging me. This was super fun to do. And like I said, I tag you all to go do it and check out these ladies' channels. And yeah, thank you for watching, and you guys have a fabulous day. I'll see you next time. Bye!